Hey everyone, this is Wade from fishfindermounts.com, and we just got a new fish finder here. It's been on the market for a little bit here. It's the Garmin Striker 4 Plus CV with its transducer. We have the older, this is actually 2 generations removed. This is the Garmin Striker 4. It doesn't say right on here, but this is the 4DV. Actually, it says right on the very back here. It's really small writing up in here. And we really like this product a lot. And then they went to the Garmin Striker CV. I don't think it's as good of a product as the DV version. This one's pretty cool because, as you can see, what is it that's different this year? Well, Garmin's pulled another trick out of its bag where they've got these contour maps they're allowing you to draw on a 4-inch screen. So I'm curious as to how wide this is. I mean, that's kind of as wide as your cone is then, isn't it? So that'd be interesting, and I think you'd get some benefit of understanding your fish finder and the sonar and how wide it can read. Like if you were in shallow water, it wouldn't probably be as wide of a band, I would guess. I haven't used it in the water yet, obviously. In fact, if the camera comes back to me, I actually haven't used this or even opened the box at all. So we're going to open it here. It's an open box. Like what we like to do with these kinds of videos, we like to do an open box, and we like to do a review of it in the sense of putting it onto our product, because that's what we are. We're fishfindermounts.com. We make awesome fish finder mounting systems, and we know a lot about fish finders, obviously, as a result. And we've played and we have a lot of different fish finders. You can see actually over here, the Lowrance series we just did. We've got the one Lowrance up here. This is the Hook 2 4X. This is the Hook 2 5X or 5TS. It's triple shot with a huge transducer, 10 inches long. And actually we got the older Hook 4, which is the older version of this. Interesting to know the screen size there. But anyways, we'll get away from Lowrance because we're focusing on Garmin. So on Garmin, what we're going to do is we're going to open up the Garmin. We're going to open up the Garmin Striker Plus 4 CV with its transducer. The box, back of the box looks like that. Side. It's a nice looking package. Garmin knows what it's doing, obviously. There's the finder. What does it look like towards the DV, the 3 generations older? Wow, it looks, oh, it's a little longer. So Garmin pulls out a little bit more tricks out of its bag. That's nice. So it's looks like the screen is almost about an inch longer than the old DV versions. So that's cool. Let's just do that for the camera. Just want to see next to the Hook 2 4X. So yeah, same size screen there, but in a vertical format. So Garmin's really, yeah, the camera can see that there. I'll just take this stuff off. You can see the same size screen there. So the screen is what sucks the battery power, and that's the thing that sucks the most power from your battery. The bigger the screen, the bigger and more powerful, or the higher capacity of battery, like a battery that has more juice you would need to run a larger screen. So let's continue on with opening up the Garmin Striker 4 CV Plus. A little cardboard insert here, and the camera can maybe come up and look down. Let's see what else is in here. This is a cable package. They've got the nice inline fuse already installed for you. So if you want to keep that on there, you can. And they got all their cabling wrapped up. The base, interestingly enough, Garmin uses 3 holes. So they're a little different than their manufacturers in some ways. Mechanically speaking, like in their mechanical arrangements of how they design things. It looks like the base is identical. It is. So I'll just use this one that's already apart, or that I've got out of the bag for now. What happens is you just take this guy here and you just slide it. You push down and then you can slide this piece out, and then you would take this base and screw these 3 screws down. All the other guys have 4, Garmin has 3. Actually, Raymarine has 3 as well. They do the Garmin thing. Garmin and them are the same that way. And we'll just take the stuff. So this guy here, this is the power, and it might be the transducer cable too. I'm not sure. Let's see on the back. Oh, it looks like they're separate. So this guy is the power cable exclusively by itself. All the cabling for these, like the Lowrance did the same thing this year. So all the finders at these lower cost regions, you know, any 4-inch screen, ultimately 3.5, 4-inch screens, they do not. They like you can see here, the Hook 2 series was, or sorry, the Hook 4X. That's the first generation of Hook series. They did have screw-in connectors right there. That's the only 4-inch fish finder that actually in the last few generations actually had it. Now none of them have it, so they're all press-ins. So definitely my advice is always to tether off your cabling so you can see the power, and you can see a little right here, you can see these little symbols. And you can see the cable also has that same profile as a symbol, and it's the flats goes down. And there's this little notch to the top. I guess this is supposed to represent the notch. So you want to just follow that diagram and press this guy in nice and tight. So that's that. We'll take this mounting base out so you guys can see once again how that works. So it's the same thing, it just kind of tilts on its own. This is a little bit more, see, like this one's been worked in. It tilts very easy. I've used this quite a few times, this little finder here. This guy here, well, it needs to be worked in a bit more, I guess. I like the design of these. Oh yeah, and there's this guy here that's integrated like I was showing you before. Again, it's not a pull out, it's a push out. So you push this lever down and then you just slide this apart. All right, so we've got everything apart, and you can see these 3 screws here. This is obviously how they intend you to mount it, maybe to the dash or something. But if you're using our product, as you would get kind of in a bag like this, the swivel plate, I'll quickly show you that. The holes on this guy, the swivel plate, line up already. They're these, I believe they're these 3 holes here. Yes, they are, indeed, they are. So it's that hole, and that hole. They all line up. And you would just mount this guy on here using our own screws that come in this package as well. You can see the difference in size. Theirs are huge. Ours are... These things, they only weigh like maybe a pound if you're lucky. They're super light. You don't need anything like this unless you, of course, for some reason have some kind of a material object you're putting it into, like a dashboard, that maybe you need that extra depth to sink into some sheet metal or what have you, if they have that behind the dash of your boat. Okay, so we've got that open. Let's open the rest of the stuff for the Garmin Striker 4 CV Plus. So here's all the different things. It's nicely packed away in this bag. There's the manual, and I'm interested to see the transducer because I know they've changed them again. Garmin has changed their transducer many times, actually. Over the last 3 years, they've redesigned for various different reasons, and I won't go into that too deeply with it. Now it's a light gray again. Okay, it's a fairly chunky transducer, so you guys all can see. This guy here is about 6 inches long. It's fairly heavy, well built. You can tell it's well built and well made. Width is 2 inches wide exactly. Depth is 1 inch deep already without any brackets on it. So it feels like it's probably maybe 14 ounces. It's getting probably close to a pound already. That's a pretty chunky transducer. But remember, this is actually doing, and as the box was showing, this guy is doing 77 200 kilohertz, and it's also doing your 44 and 800 kilohertz all together. So it's really got 4 frequencies that can come out of this. So that means they have 4 different transducer elements in there that can provide those different frequency sweeps in the water. So it's going to be a bigger one. And I wanted to get this finder particularly because it represents kind of all the gambit of what the Garmin Striker 4 series can do, and you know, this transducer would be packaged with anything else that's doing a similar thing. So on the back of the actual finder, you guys, you want to see how this guy mounts. Well, it snaps in. It's kind of similar to their GPSs for your car window or what have you. There's this little snap lever, and if the camera can see that, we're just going to snap this in. There, it's snapped in. It's actually really well done, simplified. And then again, this guy's a snap together system. And this is actually a pretty nice rotational base. And we are actually going to be, this is our UP plate, and we're going to be coming out with a new one very soon here. We should have it in the next couple months. It's going to be a little bit bigger and everything, and we'll be providing the opportunity for you guys to even mount directly to this if you want for some of our inflatable mounts. So stay tuned for that. Definitely subscribe to our channel while you're here, because you're going to see a lot of videos like these where we're showing you new fish finders, we're showing you what their ergonomics is, you know, their mechanical form factors, so you can, when you're planning to put everything together on your boat, you know, how are you going to put it on your boat is the question, isn't it? There's all sorts of boats, you know, and there's even like standard boats. Sometimes their transoms are tilted. Sometimes they've got pontoons, or people call them trim tabs and different things. And those all present challenges for mounting. So this is your motor mount. What you would do, and actually I think Garmin makes a nicer one of these too. They don't chintz out on some of this aspect of it. So this guy would screw right to there. I guess you could just pull the wire out through this guy here if you're going to do a motor mount. So the ergonomics, so like for Lowrance, they've done the flattening of the device. This is their transducer. They flattened it out, and then you could maybe tie around it. That's what I believe they've done there. And this little, let's see, the bullet transducer right over here on our magnetic transducer mount. Just 1 second. Oops. That's the problem. So our magnetic transducer mount, don't get your fingers in the way, guys. So they've got this sort of like designed right into the transducer with slots. We've also got the other bigger one, the split shot 2. I've shown that in another video earlier, that from our channel here. So the way Garmin's approaching it is they're using this bracket here. You can screw this on top here of all the holes line up. You can see the holes in this bracket, and then the PEM holes, the brass or the stainless steel. I think they look stainless steel. I'm pretty sure that's what they are. Probably 3/16 stainless, which is the highest grade, because if you're going to put it in salt water. Anyways, this is the part that I'm very interested in, because this makes it into a transom style of mount, where you would traditionally mount it to your transom. Wow, that's a really cheap plastic they're using. Feels pretty wimpy. So that's what the new one looks like. And I was interested in this because obviously our product, as you can see here, this is an example of it, or even the magnetic transducer mount, but yeah, the camera can come close to it. Our product is a clamping style mount. It's universal, and in the past there was a gap here with the Garmin stuff, and we would need to provide spacers in our packs right so that it would fill the gap, so it would be nice and strong. But now what you see here is, you see, and we're probably going to need a longer screw here, which we have. Maybe not with me. We might not need that. This guy here will just go right through. Oh yeah, we don't even need it. Like you see, and then it'll clamp on. Just like so. Yeah, you would probably want to use a longer screw. We include one in the pack already for all you fine folks out there. And there it is. It's like perfect with this shorter one, but you might want to have a little bit more thread length just for, you know, your feeling of security or whatever it might be. But ultimately what we're going to do here, so yeah, new Garmin stuff, you do not need to have any spacers whatsoever anymore from us for this. It looks like, do we do it like, probably gonna have to pull out the manual, sadly, all my friends. Oh, you know what, actually it's gonna be like this, that's right. So they have the extra 2 stainless for when they're, these 2 guys that are left remaining would be for this bracket here if you wanted to use it for your motor mount. So over here, if the camera kind of pans over here, in here, let's open these guys up, see what other interesting little goodies and hardware they have. They've got another transducer bracket of all things here. Wow. Oh yeah, this would go. So yeah, they've got a plastic mount. It was funny. I was on our YouTube channel there, and there's a guy that was saying, "Well, I've got a metal bracket. I need a metal bracket for my transducer," and I'm like, "Well, you know, because our stuff is made out of a very high quality glass induced or glass reinforced plastic." So he's kind of making comments, you know, it's one of these internet trolls, what have you, which is fine, whatever, it doesn't bother me. But the point is that the manufacturers make plastic ones themselves. Like, I mean, and the nice thing with plastic actually is it's better that the plastic breaks than your whole entire transducer. This guy here is pretty expensive. To buy these guys independently on their own, you're looking at quite a bit of money. I would guess that this is in the $200 to $300 region, as much as the entire kit itself. So, you know, it's probably not a bad idea to have a plastic transom bracket. Our stuff, like our magnetic transducer mount here, it's meant to, like, obviously it's non-permanent, and if you take it apart, the idea is that if it hits something, it can release before it destroys your transducer. The impact destroys your transducer. This would go on the inside. You'll see it on my hand here. In the inside, say and this going on the outside of your transom. You just lock it in, and there you have your your transducer mount on your aluminum boat, canoe, kayak. You can actually turn this 90 degrees so you can put it on your canoe or kayak on the side as an example. Works awesome, it's fantastic. We'll just put that guy back together like that for now. So we'll put this guy together. Let's get their screws out. Oh, here we go, guys. They got all sorts of little screws here for different mounting situations. So as I was saying, this would be their transom mount here, right here, right? So if this was the transom of your boat, it would be, you'd screw this onto your transom, make some holes in your boat, likely, and then you'd snap this one on. And this bolt here, you can see here, it's actually got a Loctite patch on it. It would meld everything together, so you've got your 90-degree transducer coming off of that. But I'm assembling it onto our new pull mount. We don't have this pull mount actually out on our website yet for sale. We are about to, though. I'm hoping to get that up there for everybody to purchase. The great thing with this product here, as I'm putting everything together, is this pull mount allows you to mount it, let's say on like one of these pond prowlers, this plastic boats, and those different types of like little Pelican has their own version, Bass Masters, Bass Hunters, I think they're called, things like that. So we'll just take these guys so you can see if the camera comes in close. We've got some machine screws. We're gonna do 4. It looks like there's a 5th one right in this hole too. So you want to do 5. We'll just take this guy here and get it started. So you can see the machine screw there. It's quite short. Like probably 3/16 stainless steel, like I said before. I don't know, but I'm imagining it looks. It's pretty bright for 3/16. It might be just regular 818. So I don't know what the salt water application would be like for these guys exactly. You'd have to get it on your boat and try it. Maybe we'll skip that bolt for now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get a screwdriver. Get that guy in with their screwdriver here, a hand screwdriver. There you go, she's in. So you have that all together, and the one thing with our product is you can loosen this off. It's like a clamp fit, and you can just adjust this to whatever position you want it to be at this level, and then clamp it back on. And then what you have here is if you loosen this guy off, you can actually move the transducer up and down in the water. So like where you have, the camera kind of looks at me here, where you have the pontoon, if you have a pontoon style boat, that's the deck boats where you got a big deck, some railings around. It's almost like a party boat. You got a couple pontoons on either side. Some of them even have a pontoon in the middle. And a lot of guys call me up and they want to have a solution for mounting to one of those. This is an awesome transducer mounting solution for that situation as well. Like I say again, for the pond prowlers and bass hunters and boats like that. They're sealed plastic boats. They're filled with foam. You can't really drill into them. You can't really glue onto them because they're polypropylene. So ultimately, something like this is what you really need. On those boats, you might be, you know, mounting to the side if you want. You could put this on a canoe. You could put it on an aluminum boat if you prefer this method. We have our magnetic transducer mounting solution, which we much more prefer. It's a fantastic solution. But for those boats where the magnetic transducer mount wouldn't work, we're going to be recommending you this awesome product here. And what I wanted to show you is if you have like a deck boat, you know, your like I was saying, like your pontoon boat, they're pretty big usually, and you want this up at the bow of the boat because you're fishing at the bow and you want to see what's near you. You can actually adjust this guy, as you can see, to a 90-degree detent here. And you can actually just open up the jaws of the clamp, open up the jaws, and you can clamp onto the deck. In typical cases where you have a boat, you have a vertical surface, you're going to want this guy obviously clamping this way. But if this is your deck of your boat, going flat out this way, you're going to want to be able to also clamp this way. So this will allow you to clamp in more than one way. And then you can just take this guy, there's a pin here, a locking pin. We can pull it out and we can adjust the position at varying detents. Sometimes people have really odd form boats and you may want to offset. So as an example, this chair, which I'm using to support this guy right now, I'm clamping onto it. I'm just going to show you quickly. This chair, if your transom was for some reason sticking this way a little bit, it was curved or whatever, it had a natural weird thing going on with it. You could take your transducer, you could offset it with this angle here, right down here, or perhaps better yet, you might offset it with this angle here, right like that. So we've got a tilting position here, we've got a tilting position here. The whole thing tilts so it can clamp on to a deck rather than on a vertical wall of the side of your boat, the gunwale edge of your boat as an example. So we've got the transducer together and you've got the Garmin control head. Look at the transducer actually to the control head. It's basically almost the same size. It's pretty crazy. Now I'll give you the dimensions here of the actual screen and everything. Let's put this guy down for a sec. I'll get my tape measure open here for you guys. So yeah, the screen is actually vertically nearly 4. It's about 3.5 inches long. Yep, 3.5 inches long and 2.25 inches wide, roughly 2 1/8 wide. Diagonally, we're looking at 4.5 diagonally. And what we're going to do is we'll power this guy up as I always do. Now what I plan to do, you can see up here, if the camera has a look at these guys, up here you have these powered systems, and I'm going to show you, and the Garmin can go on this too. All of our stuff is universal. So we're just going to show you this all power up. So this is a system unto itself. We showed you the magnetic transducer mount there. This is an entire kit, super portable. You can just take this off, move it to whatever aluminum boat, kayak, canoe, whatever. Well, not so, you're not going to use a clamp on the kayak probably, but You get the picture. It's small watercraft. In this case, you can actually even put these battery boxes onto this. You're going to be able to select what system and setup you want. If you want the pull system with a battery box mount, like you can see, this swivels for you as well, right? And then you can lock it down into its position. You're good to go. You can do that with this here as well. You can take this, instead of being on this, you know, just this box, and it'll be on this clamp here. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to also show you, and I didn't do this yet, I'm going to show you our non-powered kit. And the way that would come is it would be, this meshes together with this guy here. And the way that this is going to work for you guys is we're going to take this guy right here, if the camera can come in close and see what I'm going to do here. There's quite a bit of shadow here, so we'll try to... So we take these guys from all of our stuff, fishfindermounts.com, if you guys are wondering who we are. 1-855-784-3474, toll free. That's 1-855-784-3474, toll free, to get your amazing fish finder mounting solution from us today, if you wish. Now, this is the swivel plate. I think the screw that I have in this one, we have to replace it with a longer one. So we have a longer screw here, a longer hex bolt, stainless steel, all our stuff stainless steel. You take your swivel plate, and of course we're going to put the Garmin Striker. You take your compression washer, neoprene compression washer, and then this all works together, swivels around to wherever you want it to be ultimately. Just like this guy on our powered system. So you'll be able to choose. In this case, you know, you might have a really big finder, I don't know, whatever, but you have a battery already in your boat, maybe in your canoe, whatever it is. You have a battery in there and you want to use that for some reason. So you say, wait, well, we just need the non-powered system with the pole mount, if that's what you want. And then we'll make sure that you get all those components together, and you can put your control head right on here. Of course, this acts, and as you saw, it can act like a standalone transducer mount, but again, you have the option with this to make it a full entire mounting kit, all together, stuck together, just like our magnetic ones, but now being the transducer solution is on a pole. And that is the reason why we've come up with that, is because of these strange, different, not strange, but these odd form, odd design, odd manufactured boats that they have foam stuck in between or what have you. We're going to take a Garmin Striker here, guys, and we're going to just pull this guy. Let's see, how do we do this again? We're going to push her out, push it out. Yeah, there we go. And we're going to take this base. Let's put the Garmin Striker aside. We're going to take the base. We're just going to, let's lock this guy in for now so it makes it easier. And this is the T-knob that you would have, and it locks everything down. So you loosen it and you can swivel it, and then you tighten it and it won't go anywhere. It's stuck. So we're going to take our screws that we include with our kits. You get 4 of them because, like I said, most of the manufacturers have 4 screws, screw holes, like the Lowrance. As you can see, theirs has 2 there and then 2 in the back. But in Garmin, you only need 3 of them. So we're going to line up the holes if the camera comes up and over and looks down, straight down. We're going to take the screws here. Maybe focus a little bit further away. Doesn't have to be that close. We're going to do this quickly. We got those 3 screws that we needed, and they're perfect for this application. And we'll just, if the camera backs away a little bit now. Take those guys. Fasten the base on here. And of course, we'll take the Garmin Striker unit, Striker 4 CV Plus, which can make contours, and we can just tilt it around. Now, you're gonna say, well, wait, it's not powered up. It's not powered up. What's going on here? Come on, buddy, get it done. Well, I'm gonna do that. Now, you see these power cables, camera? If camera comes back over to where it was before, you see these power cables here. Well, the only cables that you need are these two for power. You do not need this blue and brown one. That's for networking. You don't need that. If you're using our product, for sure, you wouldn't be networking. You're bringing it along with you as sort of a standalone thing. And you notice they haven't stripped the end of these two wires because most people don't use them or need them. But they have stripped these wires because these are your power wires. Now, with our kits, you'll typically, our powered kits for sure, you wouldn't have this with our non-powered. You can buy these kits of cables from us as well, guys. If you just want a power cable kit, we sell these separately on our website under the accessories tab, or our accessories category. If you go up to the top left of our website, you'll see shop, click on shop, and then some categories will appear. One will be accessories. Now I'm going to take this app tool and crimp this guy together. I like to get a couple crimps in there. This is a really good tool, pretty professional one. You guys might not have such professional tools. Definitely crimp it a few times. But you know, one thing is, I've been in electronics for many, many years of my life, and sometimes what you could do, in my experience, is you can over crimp things and then start to sever the connection as well. So you want to kind of feel it out properly. There we go. So we've got that guy crimped up really nice. So that now, as you can see, makes your fish finder power cable terminate with a plug. And you notice I just left the fuse on there. Most manufacturers, they don't have this system at all. You have to put a secondary fuse on by yourself, maybe solder it together. You could use our extra. In our kits, we actually have extra cables, or like little connectors, just in case you screw up, or you have a situation where you want to use an extra one to maybe terminate here and here, right? Like Lowrance, they don't have a fuse connected, but for the Hook 2 series, but they include a fuse in the kit. So we'll take this guy, and we're going to connect it to the battery. And I'm going to show you guys how that looks like. A battery like this comes in our kit. This is an older cable of ours. It still works just fine. I picked it because it had a longer cable to it. And we'll just take this guy, we'll connect it up, we'll take the Garmin, and we will power it on. And as you can see, it comes to life right away. And if you had our mount on your boat, you'd be done in seconds mounting it together. Just clamping this onto the boat, and then adjusting your level for the transducer mount. If the camera swings back over there, that'd be great. Adjusting the level of your transducer. Maybe you have it on the side of your boat. Maybe you have it on the side of your boat, so you swing it this way, and then you just clamp this down so it's running adjacent or parallel to the side of your boat. And we will swivel this guy over, and we'll set it up. So we want English. Yes, we're going to use a check mark here. Store demonstration. Yeah, let's go with the demonstration. You have chosen to configure this unit for retail. Are you sure? Yes. And so it might have Wi-Fi connectivity. I'm just going to hit next. I can go back and switch all of this stuff later. And so here's your menu system. Let's have a look at the quick draw map. To create contour map, select this. Quick draw contours. Start recording. So it can't do that right now because it's in demo, I suppose. So it's. I'm sure if you watch the demo, you'll be able to see it move along. We'll hit this guy again. Garmin does a great job of its menu systems. They're pretty easy to use. Map setup. Let's see. So you can set some things on that. One of the things I wanted to see, guys, and a lot of guys ask about this, is let's go back. So you can see the different frequencies. So I got traditional and clear view here. So you can split the screen up and see different views. Can you see the map while you're seeing one of the views? Probably. Let's go back and see if we can see that. Yeah, right here. So this is map and traditional. It goes down further even. So maybe I'll do a video later on. I'm going to do one on the Lowrance stuff so you guys can see the screens can be actually customized actually on those as well. So there you have it, everybody. And also with our product here, you know, I'll show you how the transducer hooks up here quickly, and then we'll finish this video quickly now. So this plug here, you can see it just plugs in. Again, there's a little symbol here. It might be hard for the camera to see. It's pretty dark. And then of course you just copy that symbol with the contour of the plug, which has a flat spot right here. And it looks like it's upside down like the power cable. You just plug that guy in, and now your transducer's plugged in. Now, all these cables, you might want to wrap them up to, you know, we're including in our kits, our cable kits, we also include cable ties. So you can wrap everything nice and neatly together. It's the same thing as you can see on our power boxes, our battery box systems right here. If the camera could have a quick look. We've got these cable slots so everything can wrap together and keep it nice and portable. The idea is the same for our non-powered systems. We have some slots actually, and you'll see it right here. And you can just strap your cables nicely right to these slots. And for the sake of brevity here, I'll maybe just do one cable for now. So you just take your cable tie, pop it through that slot, and then you can tie it up underneath or what have you, like so. And as long as you keep it down below the lever or the level here, it'll still nice swivel around for you if you want. Like the Garmin already has its own swiveling capabilities, so it's maybe a little redundant in this case. It's nice you can get a bit more of a swing out of it though, get some more reach out of it. But there you have it, everybody. This is Wade from fishfindermounts.com, and I was showing you the old Garmin Striker 4 DV. It has split screen, it has down view. This is the clear view version. It has that plus system where the maps, the contour maps are made a little bit bigger of a screen, as you can see, this being a 3.5 inch diagonal measurement on the screen, and this being, I think, a 4.5 is what we measured. Let's double check that. Actually, it's 4.25. And this guy is 3.5, yeah. So this is Wade from fishfindermounts.com. If you're interested in any of our awesome mounting systems that are all making your fish finders portable, you take your fish finder with you and fly-in trips wherever you want to go, rental boats, call us today. 1-855-784-3474, toll free. And I'm Wade, and I'm glad to help you with your fish finder mounting needs. You can also email us on our website, www.fishfindermounts.com. You'll see on there at the top right corner our email address, sales@floattubefanatics.com. And you can just copy that, email us. We also have a contact link there, and there's all sorts of awesome information on www.fishfindermounts.com. And that's about it. So thanks for watching, everyone.